Hey guys, how's it going? Spinosaurus the King here, and in this video, I'm going to be joined by a special guest again. He's back. Introduce yourself.
What's good, Brooklanders? It's your girl, Brooklyn.
It's your
That never
boyfriend.
gets old.
Got you.
But
Oh my
anyway,
god,
David
it really
here
doesn't.
back again for Chaos Theory Season 2, but this time, spoilers.
Oh. Hell yeah, spoilers. So before we begin, again, you can hear me again, right? The connection's okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Cool. So anyways, yes, now we're going to be going to spoilers. So again, if you guys have not yet seen Chaos Theory Season 2 or not yet seen all of it, I recommend not watching this video because, again, this is going to be going into full-on spoilers for the whole season. So click off this video and watch our non-spoiler review, and then go ahead and watch Season 2 and then come back to this video after.
Yep, you've been warned, people.
For sure. But anyways, brother, since you're my homie guest, I'll let you go ahead and start with some of your thoughts on Jurassic Chaos Theory 2 with your spoilers involved.
Okay. Biggest one, the broker.
Yup.
I said in the last video that there was a surprise, but not a surprise. That is, okay, get this, everybody. The broker is Soyana Santos from Dominion.
I know, here's the thing, going into that, when I first saw Season 1, I was so confused on who the villain was because I thought this took place after the events of Jurassic Dominion, but it's now confirmed this takes place before Dominion, which then makes more sense. It's going to be Soyana Santos and Biosin after them, right?
Right.
For sure.
And then come Season 2. I mean, actually, between Seasons 1 and 2, a lot of people were predicting that it was Santos or Dodgson who would be the broker, but Season 2 outright confirms that it's Santos.
Yep. That's 100% for sure. And then, what's it called again with Season 2? I guess, yeah, well, first we'll talk about, the Biosis thing. I'm really glad we also got to see Red the Atoceraptor, and Season 2 explains why Red was not in Season 1, because she was with Soyana Santos, you know?
Yep. Kind of interesting that she's kept as a personal pet of Santos, because I thought she would have, been kept in a cage or something.
True. But yeah, since we're also going to spoilers, I'm going to say the Spinosaurus unfortunately does not appear. In fact, there's not even a mention of it. The only somewhat mention of it we got in Season 1 was when Sammy said that Manticore Island was fully investigated, indicating that nothing is left in the island, and that includes the Spinosaurus.
Right. However, we do get two Spinosaurids in Season 2, Baryonyx and Suchomimus.
For sure. Here, bro. Oh.
The Suchomimus scenes.
True. Anyway, so I think I just quickly fixed my connection. Can you? I'm curious, bro. Can you hear me a little better than before, or no?
Yeah, I can hear you still.
Okay. So I'll try like this then. But yeah, so again, we do get two Spinosaurids in Season 2, which is amazing. We get both a new Baryonyx that looks very similar to Rudy. It's like an albino. It's like an albino Baryonyx that has no eyes in it, and it tracks down prey and humans by echolocation, which is really scary.
Oh yeah, like the Indoraptor.
Yep. For sure. But yeah, the new Baryonyx was awesome. Now, the Suchomimus Season 2 definitely, again, in my non-spoiler review, I mentioned that there's a dinosaur that was, somewhat ruined. However, it's less ruined now than I originally thought, and here's why. So, my good friend Diego, which, David, I'm sure you know, he posted a story showing how big a Suchomimus was in real life to a hippo, and then compared it to the Suchomimus that was up against the hippo in Chaos Theory, and this further proves this. The Suchomimus was clearly not fully grown, or was just a smaller individual, because a fully grown Suchomimus wouldn't be that small compared to a hippo. It would definitely be a good amount larger, you know?
Yeah, I actually saw that same post, and
for sure,
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, because originally I didn't think that. The reason why I was saying the Suchomimus was ruined is because I wasn't fully aware that it was that small. But when I saw that story, holy shit, bro, it was small compared to what it should have been, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that would explain the smaller size and why it lost to Major, the Majungasaurus.
And that also explains why it struggled to something like, here's that. I know a hippo is a strong animal, but going up against something like a fully grown Suchomimus or something of that size, I'm sorry, guys, a hippo does not stand a chance against something that would be as big as a fully grown Suchomimus or larger, you know?
True that.
Sure.
Also, I remember seeing another point that because of the different jaw structures of Majungasaurus versus Suchomimus, Majungasaurus' shorter jaws meant it had a more powerful bite force than the longer, thinner jaws of Suchomimus.
For sure. And this also explains why the Majungasaurus won so easily. Because again, that Majungasaurus, I can definitely confirm that Majungasaurus was not just fully grown, but it was also stronger than a real life Majungasaurus. Number one. Number two, the Suchomimus was much weaker than even a scientifically accurate Sucho. And we know that majority of the dinosaurs in the franchise are, stronger and bigger than what they were in real life,
Exactly. Plus,
For sure.
I firmly believe that the Majungasaurus in the Jurassic franchise, major included, are like larger than their real life counterparts. I mean,
for sure.
In the first episode, you get some really good shots of the Majungasaurus, and you see just how big that thing is.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely a good 1 or 2 meters bigger than what it was in real life, and also bulkier too.
Absolutely.
For sure. So I guess if we put this logically, the Sucho technically wasn't ruined because it wasn't a full potential Ingen Sucho. In fact, this Sucho was so small it was even weaker than a scientifically accurate Sucho.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, which is a good thing. I am glad that that was the case because let's say this was like a full potential Sucho and it was still struggling to a small hippo and a Majungasaurus, then for sure it would have been ruined. But thank God that's not the case.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Or also, while we're on the subject of the hippo, I think it's interesting that they use like a modern mammal as an antagonist for a change.
I really enjoy that actually. It just shows that not just dinosaurs are deadly, but even modern day animals that are still alive today are deadly. Because again, Darius said the hippos cause a certain amount of deaths per year. It is true. Hippos are extremely dangerous animals.
They are.
Yep. One bite from that and you're toast.
Exactly.
For
sure. And then it was cool.
Yeah, the people. I think.
Sorry, man. I was going to say it's cool that they incorporated lions, but it would have been cool to actually see them and not just their glowing eyes.
Yeah. I agree. It would have been cool. Like, imagine we got to see like the lion or a lion pack going up against like the Sucho or going up against the Majungasaurus. That would have been interesting too. Or even going up against the hippo.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, judging off that size that Diego posted on his story, the Suchomimus was at max 9 meters in the show. Like maybe a 9.5 at the most. Like it was about the same size of the fully grown Baryonychus within the franchise, maybe a tad bigger, but it definitely still is weaker than those Baryonychus because again, the Baryonychus have like all these armor in the franchise, and of course they're fully grown, right? So,
right,
for sure. But again, at least I am glad that we finally got to see because now we know why the Sucho was struggling so much to a subadult Carno and also a fully grown Majungasaurus.
Mm-hmm. Although I still don't think that Sucho that we saw in the end of season 1 would be the same as the ones we see in season 2.
True. Well, yeah, wasn't there like 3 different Suchos and one of them dying?
Yeah, there were at least 3.
True, maybe even 4 actually, because we saw a lot. There was like 2 in season 1 and like what was there 2 or 3 in season 2?
Sounds about right.
Honestly, I predict there's at least 4. To be honest, it seems 4 is more of like an accurate number than 3 because we saw a lot of different ones, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like my point is, I'm pretty sure all of them were just bred recently because again, they look young. They don't look really fully grown. Their arms are kind of small. They're only about the same size as the Baryonyx is, and it's just they don't look like fully grown Suchos. And the fact that it was like, I know it was a good amount bigger than the hippo, but it wasn't like gigantically bigger like it should have been.
Indeed.
For sure. But either way, I am glad that happened. Hopefully, in the future, we can get a full, a bigger Suchomimus that will put up a good fight. Because the thing is, I feel like a full potential Ingen Suchomimus would rival the size of like the Battle Big Allosaurus. I think the Battle Big Allosaurus would win, but it wouldn't win like easily. I think it would win with like high diff.
Mm-hmm.
True, but I do believe that a full potential Ingen Sucho that's like 12 meters or whatever would stand a chance to definitely the Democarnotaurus for sure.
For sure,
if it's like full potential, yeah, that would be a close fight. I think maybe the Sucho would win, but just barely. It'd probably win with like extreme high diff. For sure. But either way, I guess before we move on to the next thing, what else should we say about the Suchomimus, brother? David?
Oh,
sorry guys. Let's get a hold for a second. I think David lost it. Oh, you're back.
Suchomimus is that I like the designs. I mean, I like the coloration and also the sound design. I mean,
for sure. Overall, I think the Suchomimus is really cool. I had no complaints within the design or the roars. I think all that was amazing. I just wish that it was bigger. That's all.
Absolutely.
For sure. But again, I know it's not confirmed. It's a younger one, but again, like whether they confirm it's an adult or not, it still isn't the size of like a real life Sucho.
Right. So
at least too many.
At least we can say that it's not officially ruined, right?
True. Which is a good thing, because like I know it's not nearly as bad as ruining, of course, the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus, but it's still like to see any dinosaur ruined still is sad, to be honest, you know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, I don't think we need to worry about Suchomimus.
Oh, David, you there, bro? I think we lost connection there again. Sorry, I'll just hold for a second. We can. Oh, David, you back? Or?
I don't think we need about Suchomimus being ruined.
Oh, you back? Or?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, sorry, say again, bro?
We don't need to worry about Suchomimus being ruined.
Yeah, that is true, which is a good thing. Again, like I thought originally it was, but again, once I saw, of course, Diego's story, it showed the significant size difference from the real-life Sucho and the one we see in season 2 and 1, you know?
Exactly.
So, therefore, it's not ruined. Because, like, we do know in real life, the Suchomimus would absolutely destroy Majungasaurus and would, you know, it would probably beat a Carnotaur, but they would definitely, I feel like it would definitely struggle to a Carnotaurus, but there's no doubt it would beat a Majungasaurus if they're both fully grown, you know?
Yep, and no doubt it would be able to beat a hippo.
Oh, 100%. Like, I know it still beat the hippo, but again,
the hippo in season 2, so.
True. But but at least now we know why it struggled so much to a hippo, because again, it was just a young Sucho. If it was a fully grown hippo, it wouldn't have struggled at all to a hippo then.
Mm-hmm.
True. But again, the hippo definitely is, the fact that the hippo stood a chance to a subadult Suchomimus, that's impressive, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So, anyways, I guess enough talk with the Suchomimus. Let's move on to what do you think? Like the story, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think we really got to talk about Brooklyn's story.
100%. So at least now we know why Brooklyn faked her death, because she was spying on both Sion Santos and Biosyn so she can get evidence to put them in jail forever, which again, good for her, because we know that Sion Santos is pure evil and she's up to no good with Louis Doxson.
Right.
Yep.
And then, of course, with her getting attacked by the raptor handler and the Atrociraptors, that also, like, explains why she wants to stay dead, so that way hopefully it would help get the people off of her friend's case.
100%. Yeah. For sure. And then I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, too. And again, like, you know, even Swerve came up with this theory, but it is cool how it got proven. Like, Brooklyn actually wasn't killed. Sorry, she wasn't injured by the Allosaurus. It was the Atrociraptors that actually bit off her arm. Well, if anything, the Allosaurus in a way kind of saved her, because if it weren't for the Allosaurus there fighting those Atrociraptors, which again, that was a cool fight, then the Atrociraptors probably would have, you know, full on killed her, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
So if anything, instead of people hating on the Allosaurus for hurting Brooklyn, they should be thanking it, because if it weren't for the Allosaurus, she would have been dead.
Oh, that's right.
So in a way, like, I know the Allosaurus didn't purposely save her, because again, the Allosaurus is also a carnivore, which probably would have ate her. But still, like, if the Allosaurus wasn't there, she would have been dead. So people can thank the Allosaurus for that.
That's right.
For sure. That's true. Now again, like, the Allosaurus only appeared within flashback scenes, so of course it was still the same size of like the one we saw in season 1. But I do hope one of those days they can make it bigger, because it doesn't make sense how they confirm it's the same one for Battle Big Rock, but yet it's a good 1 or 2 meters smaller. It doesn't add up, you know. It was probably done by mistake, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Yeah. But again, like, my point is, if the Allosaurus returns and it's the same one from Battle of Big Rock in season 3, I hope they realize that they made it too small and they fix the size of that in season 3. You know, I really hope so.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're lucky, hopefully we can see like either a new Sucho that's fully grown or one of the other ones becomes fully grown by then.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Because we do know these dinosaurs are giving growth hormones, so it's possible the Suchomimus could become fully grown fast. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Which is amazing. And then, of course, there was 2 Baryonyxes in season 2. There was, of course, the new one that was albino and it was blind, and there's also the other one that was, I think, the same one we saw in season 1. It was the black and blue, and it could have been one. Yeah, so it's probably one of the ones. It's probably one of the ones we saw, and I don't know. I don't know if it's Chaos. Probably isn't. It's probably just one of the ones we saw in Fallen Kingdom that escaped.
Probably. True. Oh, you know, that reminds me about, you know, on the boat. It also reveals that the whole climax of season 1 happens in Louisiana. I always thought it was in Texas.
For sure, that is cool. They also confirmed that. And the boat attack too, where the Majungasaurus escaping and also eating the Gallimimus, just causing rampage of the boat. That was awesome. Like the first episode where that happened, that was scary as hell, bro.
Oh yeah. Also, I think it's great that they said they had 2 Majungosauruses, but Major killed the other one, so therefore it plays into the cannibalistic nature of Majungosaurus.
Yep, and it also explains why this Majungosaurus is so powerful. Like again, like it's not it literally low diffed a subadult Suchomimus, and then it defeated another Majunga. So damn, this Majungosaurus is not to be messed with.
Right.
I feel like this Majungosaurus versus Toro would be a good fight. Now, obviously, the Democarnosaurus would straight up wreck it, but again, Toro is smaller than the Democarno, so I feel like in season 3, if they decide to bring Toro back, I really want to see Toro going up against the Majunga. I don't really care who wins. I just hope they make it a fair, a long fight, because those two are both proven to be extremely powerful.
That's right.
Especially for their size too,
Mm-hmm.
100%. But again, if I had to predict who wins, I think Toro has a slight advantage. I think he would win with high to extreme high diff.
Yeah, Toro would definitely have an advantage.
For sure, because again, look what he survived up against in season, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And then, the other scientist there, that he's like the guy, I forget his name, but he invented the new baryonyx. That was cool. How he I know they had the echolocation on the Atrociraptor, and also the laser signal to make the Atrociraptor hunt things. But it's cool how they're able to implement that into other dinosaurs too. I thought it only worked on Indoraptor and Atrociraptor. The fact that they're able to do it on Baryonyx. What's next? Spinosaurus. Like, that's so cool,
Oh yeah. And also, I remember reading the the description for season 2, saying some kind of genetic experiments. I legitimately thought it'd be another hybrid or something. So,
sure.
The blind albino baryonyx is something I was not expecting.
For sure. Yeah, because I heard rumors there was going to be hybrids in season 2, which obviously was false because we didn't see any hybrids. But the thing is, I do hope maybe one day they can reconsider hybrids, because I know they said hybrids aren't going to come back, but it would be cool if they can bring them back one day. Because there is some other cool hybrids that we could see that weren't in the franchise, the Spinoraptor or Ultimasaurus or the Stegoceratops, which was cut from Jurassic World. Bringing any of those would be really badass, in my opinion.
Plus, it would be nice to know what happened to the Spinoceratops hybrids, Rebel and Angel.
Yeah, 100%, because by now they would definitely be fully grown, so it would be cool to see them back fully grown.
Oh yeah.
And it would also be cool to see what happened to the Spinosaurus, because again, it was not confirmed dead after season 5, and it didn't die in season 5 either. So therefore, as of right now, it's still alive, and it's of course not die. It wouldn't be dead of age right now, because it's quite a bit younger than Rexy, right? So.
Yep.
So, but my prediction for the Spinosaurus for now is that it probably is somewhere in the mainland. I don't think it's definitely not in the Biosyn facility, because again, we would have seen it in Dominion then. So therefore, it probably is. It's just somewhere on a different part of the world or something, like another country or something.
That's my thought too.
I mean, I want to say Malta, but the problem is there wasn't really enough mention of it in Malta, so therefore I don't think it's in Malta or the Biosyn facility. I think it's somewhere else.
I think so. I mean, we definitely would have had some kind of clues as to where it is in Dominion if that's the case.
True. But again, if the Spinosaurus is either mentioned or appears in season 3, hopefully it can explain its absence in Dominion.
Absolutely.
True. My guess is probably just it's just somewhere else in the world. It's not where Dominion takes place, which is why we don't see it. That's my guess.
My theory too.
For sure. And some other things about season 2 that were really cool as well. I mean, again, the broker wasn't just exporting and capturing dinosaurs; it was also creating them too, which is why, this explains why in the season 1 and 2 we're seeing all these new dinosaurs. We're seeing Suchomimus, Majungosaurus. What else was new?
That also reminds me,
when they're
actually at the lab, when they're actually at Soyona's lab in Senegal, and exploring everything.
Yeah.
Seeing all those dinosaur embryos in the tubes, I got major Jurassic Park 3 vibes from that.
Honestly, that was probably the best callback in this. Again, seeing those dinosaurs in the tube. Actually, one of them looked like the Spinosaurus, but again, it was just a feeding tube attached to a baryonyx. But I for a second, oh my god, are they making a new Spinosaurus? Because it looked like a sail for a second,
Right.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I think that was a great callback, because we haven't seen something like that properly since JB3. So that was definitely the best callback to JB3 we gotten in a while.
And also, apparently, if you look closely in Soyona's penthouse, you can actually see the raptor vocalizing chamber. That first appeared.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was also imagine that was the same exact one from JB3, and they somehow got it. Wouldn't that be awesome? Imagine she got it. Imagine she bought it off Billy Brennan or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be That'd be cool.
For sure. But yeah, no, it looked exactly the same as the one in JB3, which was awesome. Another
I mean, they had the animation model of it from Camp Cretaceous Season 1, so that makes sense.
True. Which is awesome, obviously. And something else I enjoyed, too, again, there was no T-Rex or Velociraptor in Season 2. Now, I'm not saying this because I don't like those two. It's just that, I'm really glad they got to show other dinosaurs to shine for change, because we know T-Rex and Velociraptor have had, so much screen time. But however, this time, instead of Velociraptor, we got a Troceraptor, which is very underrated. And I guess you could say, instead of T-Rex, we got Majungasaurus, which is also very underrated. And I guess instead of Spinosaurus, we got Suchomimus. And, Suchomimus hasn't had that much screen time. So I think based off that, it was really cool to see underrated new dinosaurs to get some more screen time,
Yeah. And also, basically you're right. No T-Rex appears at all in this, if you exclude the
Velociraptor. Yep. But again, guys, just to confirm, this isn't me hating on T-Rex Velociraptor. I still think they're amazing dinosaurs, and I love them. It's just that, if they're only going to show those two over and over and over again and not show other dinosaurs getting a lot of screen time, then it just gets repetitive, For sure. Which was part of my problem with Fallen Kingdom, because, again, Fallen Kingdom was focusing mainly on T-Rex and Velociraptor, while at least Dominion and other things finally focused on other dinosaurs, which was amazing,
Right.
For sure.
Speaking of Dominion, why don't we talk more about that? I mean, let's say that, there is pretty much going to be a third season based on how it ends, but
100%, yeah.
They're going to go to Biosyn Valley.
Well, see, that's based off how Season 2 ended, where Brooklyn was going to fly off with Stone Santos, there's only two places that they can go, which, again, Swerve said, but again, he's right. It makes sense. They're only going to be going to either the Biosyn facility to meet Louis Doxa and maybe see the Giga, or they're going to be going to Malta to sell off more of the dinosaurs in the black market, because, again, this is supposed to take place just before Dominion, so therefore it wouldn't make sense to go anywhere else besides those two specific locations.
True. So,
yep.
If they end up going to Biosyn Valley, I bet you we would see the Giga and the Tyrannosaurus in Season 3.
100%, yeah. For sure. To be honest, again, I did really enjoy this, to be honest, but I'm going to be honest, bro, I really felt bad how they bred it with no eyes. I feel like that's kind of cruel, to be honest. I get that it can use echolocation to track things, but I still think that giving it no eyes it's not nice,
Right. That was part of that genetic experiment that they were alluding to in the season description.
For sure. However, again, for something with no eyes, it was still able to track down where the prey was by echolocation, which is still pretty cool,
Yep. And apparently it's that was inspired by this one species of fish that has no eyes.
True. Which is cool. It was cool how they were able to do that, for sure. But, cool question. So, I don't remember seeing this part, but I heard that specific Baryonyx ended up dying in Season 2. Can you help me out with remembering where that was? Because when did it die again? I forget. Did it die or no?
I'm sure if it did.
Yeah.
I have to rewatch, but I don't think it died.
Yeah, because I heard from a few. Exactly, because I heard from a few people it ended up dying, but I don't recall seeing it die. I don't remember seeing that. Maybe off screen. I don't know, bro.
Right, exactly.
True. That's one of the Suchomimus is the orange one specifically. That one definitely died because it died from being suffocated. Now, how it died, I think it was suffocated by the jaws.
Yep, of the Majungasaurus.
For sure. There wasn't really much blood on the neck. I think what happened is when its bite was so powerful that it couldn't breathe, and because of that it got suffocated and then sadly passed away.
I thought exactly.
For sure. Which again, it is sad, to be honest, because seeing a Suchomimus die, I don't like seeing that because I love the Suchomimus, but at least there's other ones though.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. My point is, I felt bad for the Sucho. I also felt bad for the hippo too. The hippo was being defensive, then it got killed. It's a poor hippo too.
Right. Yeah.
Because again, hippos, I understand hippos attack people, but again, they don't attack because they're evil. I think they attack. I hear they attack humans because they're scared and they're fighting for their lives because they think the humans are going to kill them.
Well, they are very territorial animals to begin with.
And that too, yeah, for sure. Imagine getting near a hippo's baby. Oh my god, we would be dead for sure. That happened.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But yeah, the Atrociraptor scenes were definitely really cool. It was also cool how Brooklyn explained more about Brooklyn's story, and Bumby's egg was cool to see that again. It still hasn't hatched. My prediction is I think Bumby's egg is going to hatch in Season 3. That's my prediction.
Well, it depends on how long things go, because I mean, we know that from what they said in the first episode of season 2, they've been on that ship for a week. So,
True.
And there's no way that the egg
it could hatch that fast.
would hatch
yeah,
by then,
for sure.
especially
However,
since the next to last episode of season 1 is when Bumpy laid the egg.
For sure. However, maybe it's possible towards the end of season 3 or slightly after that, maybe Bumpy's egg hatches then.
Yeah, I mean, like if they do a time jump, that might make sense.
Like, well, that's what they probably will do, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just like how at the end of Camp Cretaceous, they had to jump from 2016 to 2018.
For sure. Now, here's my prediction. I feel like on the last episode in the last season of Chaos Theory, they're going to have a time jump to maybe 2 to 5 years later to show the kids even not the kids, the adults even much older, to the point where they're in their late 20s or something like that.
Could be. And I mean, I could see that happening. Although maybe not 5 years ahead, because that is when Rebirth takes place, and I know that they said they couldn't do post-Dominion.
True. Unless they do something once actually, yeah, you're right. I think the furthest they're gonna go is at Dominion. They won't go any further than that. Never mind.
Right. I mean, but it would be nice to see some kind of jump, so that way we can see Bumpy's baby hatch.
For sure. But again, let's talk about the dinosaur battles that happened. So again, I think the Allosaurus versus the Atrociraptor pack, that was awesome. The Suchomimus versus the Dimorphodon versus the Pteranodon versus the Majungasaurus versus the Hippo, that was awesome, man.
Absolutely.
For sure. And the Suchomimus was on a rampage, bro. And again, for subadult Suchomimus, it was doing well,
For sure.
But then, of course, it lost to the Majunga because, again, obviously a subadult Sucho cannot beat a fully grown, overpowered Majungasaurus. There's no way.
That's right.
True. But again, hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll see a bigger Suchomimus, whether it's Rebirth or Season 3. We'll have to wait and see, but it's possible,
Exactly. It is possible.
For sure. And what other battles did happen? Wasn't there a battle between that Baryonyx and the Atrociraptor, or did they only communicate? I forget.
I think they only communicated, and then Red was able to get it on her side.
True. Yeah, because that was a good callback to Jurassic. Oh, what was it, bro?
Remember, it was the Suchomimus versus the Stegosauruses.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, that was awesome too. But again, obviously the Suchomimus, because here's the even a fully grown Suchomimus wouldn't stand a chance to a Stegosaurus, because Stegosaurus is known to be so powerful where it can kill a T-Rex.
Right. So, let alone 3 Stegosauruses. So.
Oh my god. Yeah, the Suchomimus.
Of course, it would retreat.
Yeah. Not even the Demon Carna or the Battle Big Allosaurus would stand a chance to a Stegosaurus, bro.
Right.
For sure. Even Rexy would struggle. The only thing that would easily beat a Stego are things like the Indominus-Rex, the Giga, the JP3 spawn. That's a different story. They would easily beat a Stego, but Rexy, anything smaller than that would obviously, would be in trouble.
Right. I would definitely say carnivore smaller than Rexy would
for sure
struggle.
I feel like Rexy and bigger would beat the Stegosaurus, but again, Allosaurus and smaller would probably lose to a Stegosaurus to be realistic here,
Although with Allosaurus, I definitely consider that a 50-50 match, just like T-Rex and Triceratops is 50-50.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like, because again, we know this is an overpowered Allosaurus, and the Stegos is slightly overpowered too, so I feel like Allosaurus versus Stego is 50-50, whoever gets the better hidden for, but anything smaller than the Owl, for example, Demon Carno and smaller, the Stegosaurus would have a better chance of winning then.
Right.
Sure. But yet alone 3 Stegosauruses, the Allosaurus would run away for sure then.
Yep.
That is guaranteed. But I guess, something else that was a good callback to Season 1 that happened in Season 2 was when, the Majungasaurus easily beat the Sucho, while Big Edie, people say it's not Big Edie, but I personally believe it is because of the scar, easily beat the Allosaurus. So I guess that was a similar callback,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I agree. That was Big Edie. I don't care what Scott Kramer or anyone else is saying. I mean, that is Big Edie. You can't change my mind.
I agree, because again, if that's not Big Edie, why are the colors the exact same? It has literally the exact same facial scar from the Kentosaurus. I don't get that. Saying that's not Big Edie is kind of like saying the Spino and CC is not the same one from JP3 when there's so much indication it's a lot bigger than one from JP3, which proves that it got fully grown. It has the same green eyes, the same. I know the roars are different, but again, that's only because they didn't have the auto files from the original one. So therefore, as of right now, I'm convinced it's the same one from JP3, and I'm convinced that's Big Edie.
Yeah, same here.
If someone wants to convince me otherwise, they're gonna have to show me enough solid evidence to debunk that's the same one from JB3, and also debunk that it's a Big Edie in season 1.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep. Because if that's not Big Edie, then who the hell is it? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if that wasn't Big Edie, why couldn't they just change the colors and make it look different then? You know?
Or like, why would it even have the same exact scars as her?
Exactly. Yeah. But either way, you know, for sure. Like, again, like I'm also convinced that Allosaurus is the same one from Battle of Big Rock because it has the blind eye. It's just the only problem is that they messed up the size.
Exactly. I mean, I firmly believe that it's the same Allosaurus from Battle at Big Rock.
Same here. But again, I think the size was just an error. It was by accident, probably.
Probably.
For sure. Because like again, it's not way too small. It's probably like maybe 1 or 2 meters smaller than how big it was in Dominia and Battle of Big Rock.
Yeah, I mean, so, like, we saw how
yeah.
easily Big Edie lifted that thing.
Yeah.
We know for sure that the Battle of Big Rock Allosaurus could not be lifted like that just from looking at it.
For sure. Now, obviously, Big Edie was still easily, you know, destroy the Battle of Big Rock Allosaurus, but she wouldn't be able to lift it up that easily if it was that big, you know.
Exactly.
So that's definitely evidence it's smaller.
Yep.
For sure. For God's sake, that Allosaurus was so small. It was even smaller than the Demon Carnotaurus. Like, not by a lot, but by like half a meter.
Yeah, it definitely looked a little smaller.
For sure. It was definitely noticeably smaller than the one on Battle of Big Rock, and it was slightly smaller than the Demon Carnotaurus.
Right.
For sure. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else was great in season 2. Again, yeah, the story, the action, the dinosaur battles were all amazing. I know that there was the Suka versus Majunga, but again, that's not an issue anymore because that's just a younger Suchomimus, which, you know, there's no more issue with that. Or even if they confirmed it's a full-grown Suka, me and you both know it's still weaker and smaller than the real-life Suka. I don't care what anyone says. Just like you don't care what anyone says.
That Majungasaurus major is still bigger than most individuals and more powerful. So
exactly.
There's also that.
Like, again, there's certain things I can compromise on, but the certain things that no one can change my mind on is that the Spino in JB3 was not fully grown, and the Spino in CC is at least 18 meters or bigger, because, again, there's more evidence to show that it's like this, especially considering the fact it's almost 3 of a Kentrosaurus that's 8 meters, you know? Mm-hmm. Well, 2.5, which is close to 3. And again, no one, just like you, no one can convince me that that's not Big Edie in season 1, because it literally looks just like her, you know?
Agreed.
For sure.
That is big. I mean, you ask this man, that's Big Edie.
Yep. And also, no one can convince me that the Suchomimus is fully grown in season 1 and 2, because if it was, then why is it 2 meters smaller than the real life one, you know? Mm-hmm. So, like, if it is fully grown, sure, maybe. But my point is, it still is weaker than the real life one regardless, you know?
Exactly.
Yep.
But then also, speaking of Big Edie, let's hope that season 3, it'll explain, like, where Little Edie is or where Pierce is.
See, that's my hope, because again, like, we saw a few different Kentosauruses in season 2. I don't think any of those were Pierce, to be honest.
I don't think so either. Otherwise, I'm sure someone would have said something like, "Is that Pierce?" or "Pierce, is that you?"
For sure. However, I could definitely confirm that those Kentosaurus were the exact same design and size as Pierce, because they also look to be about 8 meters. However, I don't think they're actually Pierce, though.
Agreed. I think they just reused his animation model, but just as generic Kentosaurus, not supposed to be Pierce.
For sure. However, maybe
I think Ben especially would have been able to recognize Pierce if he saw him.
And I feel like if it was Pierce, Pierce would have like probably, you know, approached them and said hi to them, you know? Well, not like actually hi, but like probably approached them.
Well, I know what you mean. Yeah. Kind of like how Bumpy would always greet Ben.
For sure. So it definitely still was cool to see, you know, Pierce kind of return because it's the same model and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, hopefully in season 3 we can see what happens. We can see Pierce, Little Edie, Toro, and the Spinosaurus, and also Rebel and Angel return.
Yeah, basically, it'd be nice to know like what happened to all the Manticore dinosaurs, because we've only seen Big Edie and Bumpy.
For sure.
But it'd be nice.
Here's my hope, like
Spinosaurus and Toro and Pierce and Rebel and Angel, and you know, just see what happened to all of those guys.
Exactly. Now, again, I don't know what exactly is going to happen in season 3, but if they don't appear, I'm hoping that they at least get a mention of what happened. Because again, like let's say that they don't appear and we don't get any mention of what happened, and they just leave it a mystery forever. It's like, come on, like there's too much mystery in the franchise. They got like mystery for a while is fun, but eventually they got to reveal it, you know. Otherwise, it's just going to be like, you know, it's like, come on, tell us, you know.
Exactly.
For sure.
You deserve an answer.
Exactly. So I want to get an answer. The main one I definitely want to get an answer on is the Spinosaurus, but of course I want to get an answer on all the Manticore Island dinosaurs because the only answer we have is that of the Spinosaurus and the rest is that they're no longer on Manticore Island. They're somewhere else. Where exactly? We don't know.
Right.
For sure.
And then,
Yeah.
just one last thing.
Yeah.
Do you think in the next season, will there be any ties to Jurassic World Rebirth? Like, do you think there's going to be any kind of connection at all?
Most likely, yeah, because again, like I know season 5 and 4 somewhat failed to get connections to Dominion. However, there was a couple connections. Like there was the mind control that Biosyn took over, and also the Barbasol can that they got in season 5. But to be honest, I am disappointed because I was expecting a lot more connections. I'm really hoping that in Rebirth we get, a lot more connections than just 2 things,
Me too.
And I personally think the biggest connections that would be awesome to get is that we get some of the dinosaurs that appeared in Chaos Theory to appear in Rebirth, some of the characters, especially including Darius, and also maybe some of the story in there too. Like if they did that, at least then, like here's the thing, I understand Chaos Theory and Cambridge are considered canon, but the way to make them feel more canon is we get a full-on tie-in from, like not just a small tie-in, we get a full-on tie-in from Chaos Theory to Rebirth. That would officially confirm it's 100% canon then,
For sure, just like how like having Santos being the broker in season 2.
Yep.
That really helps it tie to Dominion. So
100%.
In fact, I think it's
that was awesome.
Greater tie to Dominion than the mind control chips and the Barbasol can in Camp Cretaceous.
For sure. Now this is probably a better topic for another video, but I'm still wondering, like, who exactly would the villain going to be in Rebirth? Because again, at Rebirth, at that point, all the companies are shut down. It's going to have to be a new company, I guess.
It has to be, but we'll just wait and see come next year.
For sure. That's true. I mean, obviously it's Biosyn and Chaos Theory, because again, this is before Dominion, but again, after Dominion, Biosyn doesn't exist anymore because Lou Stockton, the owner of Biosyn, is dead, and Ramsey also quit, and what's her name? Sarah Santos wasn't Biosyn. She was just temporarily working for Biosyn to get money. She even admitted that in Dominion too.
Right.
Yep. But again, Santos wasn't killed in Dominion, was she? I'm pretty sure she wasn't.
She was she was basically merely placed under arrest, but she was not killed.
So here's my prediction. I feel like she's going to be a villain again in Rebirth after how good of a villain she was in Dominion. Because again, I think she played a perfect villain in Dominion, to be honest.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she was great in that.
For sure.
But I mean, based on what we know so far, I don't think any film like human characters from the last movie will be in Rebirth.
For sure. Well, even if, to be honest, even if she's not, it would still be cool because at least then we can get, a brand new company with more mysterious things that maybe can get answers. Because again, Rebirth is supposed to talk about a hidden thing that's been hidden from the world for decades. So maybe this is like a company or villain that's been like undercover for years.
Oh, true. So maybe that could be it.
And not just that too. Again, there's a lot of mystery within the Jurassic branches that still isn't answered to this day. So maybe in Rebirth, it's like Rebirth can explain some of those mysteries.
Right.
Yep. For sure. But yeah, overall, season 2, the parts of it I enjoyed more than season 1. However, season 1, I would say season 1 had a better final battle because season 2, I think season 2 had a couple more battles, but I feel like season 1, because again, I think final battles are awesome. We didn't really get a final battle in season 2,
No, we didn't. So I agree. The ending of season 1 was a lot better as far as action and a climax go.
True. Well, season 3 is the last season. Hopefully, we get an awesome final battle that includes the Giga and maybe Spino and more.
Oh,
but we'll see.
That would be cool.
Yep. For sure.
Although you have to admit, if it's like Giga versus Spino, the Giga's gonna not die because it appears in Dominion.
True. However, personally, I don't think that fight would happen. It would be awesome to see, but I think the possibility of that happening, not just the fact that Giga's alive in Dominion. I think the problem is that there's no hints that Spinosaurus even getting close to the Biosyn facility. So you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think that fight would happen, to be honest.
Yeah, but we do know that the Spino would have won anyway.
Well, of course, yeah. The Spinosaurus is proven stronger than both the Indominus and the Giga. However, the Giga would give the better fight slightly than the Indominus-Rex. But as case in point, the Spinosaurus would win if there's no plot armor involved.
Exactly, and since the Giga doesn't appear in Dominion, that would definitely mean that somehow it wouldn't be a fight to the death.
True. I mean, there is the possibility that there's two Gigas, and maybe the reason why we only see one in Dominion is because the Spinosaurus killed the other. That's also possible too, you know?
Right, but we'll
I
definitely
doubt
have
it,
to
but it's
see.
possible.
We'll see though.
For sure. But again, I think the only way they can really pull it off, a Spino versus Giga, with the same one from Dominion without it dying to make sense, is maybe what happens. Like, because again, the Giga had a lot of scars on it in Dominion, so maybe it's possible they fought, and right before the Spinosaurus was going to kill it, the Giganosaurus was scared and retreated.
Mm-hmm.
There's that way they could pull it off, or what they could do too. Maybe the Spinosaurus, like, you know, um, instead of neck snapping it, it bites its neck with its jaws. And its jaws are so powerful where it doesn't kill it, but it knocks it out. And the Spino thinks the Giga's dead and walks away when really it's not.
Right, like what happened with Big Edie.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's the way they could pull it off, or maybe the Spinosaurus like throws it over a cliff, and then the Spino thinks it's dead and walks away while the Giga is, you know, because the Giga has a lot of armor, so maybe it survives the fall if it's not too big of a fall.
Maybe
Something like that, you know. But case in point, I think the possibility of that fight happening is like, I'm not gonna say impossible, but I think the chances are small. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's likely at this point.
However, I am 90% sure the Giga is gonna appear. There's no question about that, especially because we have those cards for Chaos Theory, and the fact that they're probably going to the Bios facility in season 3. So I think the Giga is gonna appear, but I don't think the Spinosaurus is gonna appear, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I guess that brings up the point that the Topps cards aren't always like, I mean, granted they're mostly for toys and just for cool artwork, but let's not forget that the Topps card did actually depict Suchomimus versus the Hippo right before season 2 even came out. So
that is true.
Maybe there is some truth in what the Topps cards depict. I mean, not the Topps cards, the Captain's cards depict.
Exactly. That's why I believe the Giga is most likely going to appear, because the Captain's cards also proving the Sucho versus the Hippo, you know?
Right.
For sure. And then, oh yeah, it was also cool to get the further explanation to when Kenji said, like, you know, Brooklyn's alive, Ben. You didn't tell us, because again, but the thing is, Ben didn't know this whole time. He only found out when he was on his phone, like, you know, a few days before or a couple days before when Kenji found out, you know. And then, of course, Ben tried explaining that, but they didn't believe him though.
Yeah, I mean, or at least he was hesitant to say so because he knew that they wouldn't have believed him.
For sure, and also. Those new characters, I forget the name, but you know those new characters in Africa. I really enjoy those two ladies. They're very nice. Yeah, is Zaina her name?
Yeah, Zaina.
Yeah, Zaina her mom. I think they're very nice.
Yeah,
for sure. And also their pet Gallimimus, Mumba or Bumba, whatever.
Gamba was her name.
Gamba. I think Gamba was awesome too.
Yeah,
for sure.
And also, like I think there is going to be a figure of Geba, like from Mattel. So.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah, they like showed this thing with Geba the Gallimimus plus Suchomimus and Ben with the case of eggs.
True. But overall, again, season 2 was pretty cool. I just wish that we got a bigger Suchomimus, and I do wish that the Spinosaurus appeared. But you know, there's always season 3, hopefully. You know.
Exactly. So don't give up hope, brother.
True. That's for sure. But what other thing? Because I think we covered most things, but I'm sure there's still a few more things that we didn't cover in season 2. Can you think of it, bro? What do you think? What else do we not fully cover?
I think that's mostly it. I mean, I thought it was cool, like, to have our characters back. Also, I think it was interesting with Kenji that, you know, they kind of go more into like his psychological stuff, like him doing various like dangerous things, like as a coping mechanism after his dad died.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because again, like, you know, Kenji's and also Kenji's father's death was really brutal in season 1, and I know Kenji was pretty upset at first because his dad, you know, redeemed himself before he was killed.
Right, and I mean, he may have, like, you know, like had some bitterness towards him, but he's still his dad. And
true.
I mean, like I said, when I first saw it, I was shocked and I couldn't believe it.
I know, same. Really. I did not expect. Like, what's crazy is not only that did I not expect Kenji Khan to return, I didn't expect his death to be so brutal. That was intense, man.
Right.
And it definitely answers the question that he's in. Because again, originally they all thought that Kenji Khan was returning to his acts of, you know, mind controlling and Manticore. But again, clearly when the Taurus Raptors killed Khan, that definitely answered the question that he was not up to it anymore.
Right. He's definitely not part of that conspiracy. He's not after the campers after what they did.
Exactly, and the way they explained that by showing him die like that, like the way they answered that question was so brutal. They did it in such a brutal way. Yeah, but again, which was in a way cool because it just shows how much darker Chaos Theory is going to be compared to Camp Cretaceous, which is awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Well,
Hopefully,
either way,
yeah.
I do believe season 3 will be on the way, like sometime in the next several months. So I'm looking forward to it.
True. Yeah, it's probably going to be some time. My prediction for the earliest we'll see is probably, what do you think, March? Or
let's see. We had season 1 back in May, and we just had season 2 this month. So May, June, July, August, September, October. So let's see, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, March sounds about right. Like
I say March.
Like a 5-month space between seasons.
Yeah, true. I'd say March would be the absolute earliest, and by the absolute latest, probably June. But hopefully by March, because like the sooner the better,
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure we'll probably get an announcement of season 3 before we get even the first trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth.
That's my prediction too. We'll probably within the next month or two, we'll get like a small teaser or two for season 3.
Makes sense. For
sure. But yeah, but overall, season 2 was really cool. The battles were cool. The new dinosaurs, especially the Majungasaurus, the Suchomimuses, and the Gallimimus. It was also cool to see a Sinoceratops in there again.
Oh yeah.
And I think Pachyrhinosaurus appeared too.
Was in it.
True, but not for long. It was only a cameo. It had way less screen time in season 2 than it did in season 1.
Yeah, I think there were a couple quick scenes of it. Like one of them was when Brooklyn is with the Dinosaur Liberation Group, and
we didn't even talk about that yet. True. For sure. So yeah, again, Dinosaur Liberation Group. If you guys are wondering what that is, so basically, season 2 like fully explain who they are. They're basically people who are protecting dinosaurs that are being, treated cruelly Oh my God, how is this? They're being basically dinosaurs that are being treated cruel by humans. They're protecting them.
Yeah, think of what Claire, Franklin, and Zia did at the beginning of Dominion, but it's a whole organization who does that.
For sure, which is cool. I mean, I just support with it. I think they went a little too far with trying to hurt the people that weren't even involved with it. Like, again, those people that were just, cleaning things up. But again, I do support the Dinosaur Liberation Group. Yeah, that was a little too extreme. But but other than that, I do support everything else they did because they're freeing the dinosaurs. So I do support them for doing that, obviously.
Right.
For sure. But yeah, hopefully in season 3 we can get more of the Dinosaur Liberation Group and find out what they've been up to. And it was cool to see that new thing, and also it was cool to see more of the Brooklyn story, the new dinosaurs, the dinosaur battles, and Biosyn and Cyto Santos, and also seeing again season 2 confirmed why we didn't see Red in season 1 because Red was with Cyto Santos.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I'm hoping season 3 will confirm the connection more, and then we can actually see the complete Atrociraptor pack together.
Exactly, and even if they don't want to show the rest of the Manticore Island dinosaurs in season 3, which would of course be disappointing, I hope they can at least mention what happens to them. I really hope so.
Yeah, I mean at least say, oh, the Spinosaurus is in California, or or Little Edie's in Michigan, or Pierce is in Europe, or just something like that.
Exactly. I just hope that they can just mention, whether they're alive or dead, which I'm pretty sure they're all alive, and also mention what happened to them after season 5 and where their whereabouts are right now, as of 2022.
Exactly. That would be nice.
Yep. For sure. But other than that, is there anything else we didn't cover for season 2? I think we covered basically all of it now. What do you think?
I think we did. I think that is most of it.
For sure. Now, for a final thing, I know it's hard picking between season 2 and 1, but which season did you prefer more and why?
Honestly, it is a very big toss-up.
I know.
I mean, both are very good.
For sure.
But maybe, just for now, maybe season 1, just because it was good to just get reintroduced to the characters again and that epic climax. But I might have to watch season 2 one more time in order to, finalize my thoughts on that. How about you?
For sure. No, it's a hard pick. If I think for Darkness, I would have to go with season, for Dinosaur Species and Darkness, season 2. But for Battles and then Human Death Darkness, I'd say season 1. It's a hard pick, but if I had to really pick, maybe season 1 by just a tiny bit, maybe.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a close one. That's very close. That's a really hard pick because again, they're both, they both have their advantages and disadvantages.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
True. But either way, I'm looking forward to seeing season 3. Also, guys, me and David soon are also going to make a video talking about our predictions for season 3 based off what happened in season 2 and how season 2 ended with Brooklyn going on the plane with Senator Santos to go into either the Biosim facility or the Malta Black Market Group.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely going to put that together in the not-too-distant future, so keep your eyes open.
For sure. And if that's the case, hopefully we can see some of the Malta dinosaurs return. For example, because we know the fully grown Allosaurus that was in Dominion is not the same one for Battle Big Rock because it has 2 eyes that are not blind.
And also,
of course, hopefully
the Demon Carno.
Yeah, imagine, you know, me cool. Imagine Toro was with the Demon Carnotaurus in Malta. That would be awesome.
Yeah, especially since originally the Carnosaurus in Malta was supposed to be Toro.
True. For sure, yeah, because originally Toro and Demon were supposed to be the same, but again, Scott Creamer confirmed that they didn't end up doing it because of like some trouble production or something like that. I forget.
Yeah, just didn't line up with the story they were telling. Although,
exactly, yeah.
It would have just made the connection all the better.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I personally wish they did do that, but again, you know, it's too late now. So as of right now, they're 2 different Carnos.
Yep.
For sure. But either way, guys, stay tuned for our what's it called, our predictions for season 3, and hopefully season 3 will be even better than season 1 and 2. And tell us, what are your thoughts? Did you guys enjoy season 2? Did you not enjoy it? Do you guys also agree that the Suchomimus was not fully grown in season 2? Did you also enjoy Brooklyn's story and connection to why she was pretending she was dead, and also just everything in season 2 with the new dinosaurs and the broker and all that, and also the dinosaur liberation crews? Tell us what you guys think. Oh, David?
All right.
Would you like to add anything else before we end the video, brother?
I think that's it. So I think you ended it perfectly.
All right. Anyways, guys, take care and stay tuned for the next video. Bye. Before I end this video, I want to thank all my fans who are also my friends who continue watching my videos. You guys are the best. I appreciate all the support my fans are giving me. I love all my fans. If you are new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you're alerted for my next video on YouTube. Leave a like, post a friendly comment, and share my videos with everyone you know. I also hope you guys can consider joining my Patreon for amazing extra content and to support me. I have some amazing deals for extra content on my Patreon, so be sure to check it out. The link to my Patreon is in the description below. Each Patreon tier has a list of all the benefits you will receive if you join, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for extra content there as well. And until my next video, have a great day and take care, everyone.